You are about to enter the courtroom of Judge
Jayla Allen.
The people are real. The cases are real. The rulings are final. This is Judge Judy.
Jayla.
In the United States, the Miranda warning is a type of notification customarily given by police to criminal suspects in police custody, advising them of their right to silence. That is, their right to refuse to answer questions or provide information to law enforcement or other officials. What is said to you is, you have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be used against you in a court of law. You have the right to an attorney. If you cannot afford an attorney, one will be provided for you. Do you understand the rights I have just read to you? With these rights in mind, do you wish to speak to me?
It's called the Miranda rights because Ernesto Arturo Miranda was a laborer whose conviction on kidnapping, rape, and armed robbery charges based on his confession under police interrogation was set aside in the landmark U.S. Supreme Court case, Miranda v. Arizona, which ruled that criminal suspects may be informed of their right against self-incrimination and their right to consult with an attorney before being questioned by the police. Were you read your Miranda rights after arrest?
I was.
Good, because if you weren't, anything you said outside of the arrest could not be used as evidence in the court of law.
Good to know.
Heinous. In New York City, the dedicated detectives who investigate these vicious felonies are members of an elite squad known as the Special Victims Unit. These are their stories.
Clarence Earl Gideon was an unlikely hero. He was a man with an 8th grade education who ran away from home when he was in middle school. He spent much of his early adult life as a drifter, spending time in and out of prisons for nonviolent crimes. Gideon was charged with breaking and entering with the intent to commit a misdemeanor, which is a felony under Florida law. At trial, Gideon appeared in court without an attorney. In open court, he asked the judge to appoint counsel for him because he could not afford an attorney. The trial judge denied Gideon's request because Florida law only permitted appointment of counsel for poor defendants charged with capital offenses. At trial, Gideon represented himself. He made an opening statement to examine the prosecution's witness, presented witness in his own defense, declined to testify himself, and made arguments emphasizing his innocence. Despite his efforts, the jury found Gideon guilty and he was sentenced for 5 years imprisonment.
Unlike Clarence Earl Gideon, you are provided with an attorney if you can't afford one.
The next case that will be shown is the Pointer v. Texas trial from 1965. Pointer was indicted for robbing a 7-Eleven of $300. The witness who testified at the grand jury later moved to another state. The transcript from the jury hearing was then used in the criminal trial as evidence. This prevented Pointer from confronting or cross-examining the witness. The court then ruled that witnesses are compelled to confront and testify on behalf or against the defendant. This ruling was incorporated against state infringement.
Give me your money.
No!
Open the box.
Here's $300. Hey, get back! Where were you the night that the 7-Eleven was robbed?
I was at home.
I filled out a witness statement and I can read it in court because of the 5th and 6th Amendment. And I saw you take the money.
One of the first requirements of the 6th Amendment is that people have the right to a speedy trial. How fast is speedy? Well, the law doesn't really say. What this does mean is that the government shouldn't needlessly delay the trial. They can't hold someone in jail while purposely delaying a trial. Some trials will take a long time for various reasons.
The right to a trial by jury is guaranteed in the 6th Amendment. This only applies, however, to serious offenses where the punishment is more than 6 months in prison. The jury must also be impartial. This means that each of the jurors is unbiased. To help make sure the jurors are impartial, the lawyers from each side get to interview potential jurors and choose who becomes part of the jury. The amendment next says that the accused will have a public trial. This is to keep the government from having secret trials away from the eyes of the public. This happened under the rule of the British, and the Founding Fathers didn't want this to occur under the new government. Public trials can help to ensure that government officials are following the law.
Yeah.
Oh.